What is up, Diskarte fam? Welcome back to another episode of Diskarte with Mendy. And in this episode, one thing that I always hear from myself and my friends, okay, maybe more from myself, is bakit hindi tinuro ng college to? Or why wasn't this taught in school? Guys, there are things in the real world after studying, after high school and college that are just blow me away how they're not taught in school. This really genuinely gets me frustrated, guys. It makes me question whether me learning Spanish in college and even in high school was a waste of time. Anyways, here's a list of things that I wish I actually knew right out of college. Number one is the truth about making money. Moreover, the truth about getting rich. Simply put, if you're the type that wants to get ahead in life, if you're the type that wants to live a comfortable life, getting to the point where you have a 300 square foot property near the city, you've got 2 posh cars, got 2, I don't know, Pomeranians or English Bulldogs, plus maybe a couple of businesses, maybe eating out all the time, that kind of life, guys, sustaining that, you're going to have to work a lot. Some of you out of college may think that the equation is simple. You work, you make money, you get yourself promoted, you have more responsibilities, therefore you work more, and then you make more, and then you save more, and you live a happy life. Guys, really for most of us, it doesn't happen that way. And don't get me wrong, that is possible. To be able to follow that path, some people are made for that path. May you be in the corporate or business world, making a lot of money is a lot of hard work. You can get lucky, maybe you're a TikToker and you went viral, or you're a YouTuber or a content creator or an influencer of some sort, and you get enough of a following for brands to pay for your content and to sponsor you. Even that, guys, to be able to sustain that as a content creator, making enough money to become richer, or even just to make a living out of it, is a lot of work, because you can't just depend on the views, you can't just depend on endorsements your entire life. You're gonna have to build a business around that, which is actually the second point, is plan on beginning a business or begin a business early on in your career. This is because of 4 things, maybe even 5. Number 1 is it's easier and more forgiving for you to make mistakes at an early age. Number 2 is the more mistakes you make, the more you learn. Literally like an RPG, guys, or whatever game you play, the more you experience the game, the more you lose, the more you win, the more experience you get to equip yourself for the next couple of levels. Number 3 is you learn how to build and craft something of service, something of value, maybe a product or a service. Learning to build as a young person can really come in handy as you go through your life, through your journey. And last but not the least, like I said in number 1, it is ideal that you have a business first before you invest, because how will you invest in any company or any business when you don't know how to run an actual company or an actual business? Fundamentals, guys. Fundamentals are important. But like I said again, not a lot of people get rich just being an employee. So as a newly grad, I hope you yearn to become your own boss, to build your own business. Number 3 is learn how to communicate, because it is so crucial. From bartering to haggling to negotiating to just plainly expressing yourself to the people around you is, for me, the way I've seen life thus far, is so intensely critical to progress wherever you are, may it be in the corporate or in the business realm. Guys, the majority of my career, I worked a lot directly with CEOs, and one thing that I've noticed that they all have in common is that they're almost never afraid to talk or express their opinion about the business at hand. And I believe that this is a crucial part of their character as a business owner, and a successful one at that. Because in business, you negotiate day-to-day contracts, service agreement. And the biggest one is letting people that you're transacting with know that you know your business. And when someone understands that you know your business, you are less susceptible to being haggled, you are less susceptible to being scammed, you're less susceptible to being taken advantage of. So depending on where and who you're transacting with, make sure that you're able to communicate as clearly as you can, and maybe even negotiate yourself to a better deal. This next one is more on your spending habits, and that is a majority of your purchases are emotionally charged or emotionally driven. Gerald Zeltman, who is a Harvard professor, wrote a book called How Customers Think: Essential Insights into the Mind of the Market. And he says on there that 95% of our purchases are actually very emotionally driven. He says that most purchases are actually driven by an unconscious urge. And I'm not too surprised about this, because a lot of brands pour millions and millions of money into trying to figure out how to captivate that market. They try to convey a message to evoke an emotion. A really good example are luxury brands. They try to evoke emotions of acceptance, of being of higher in society. On the other end, as consumers, some people even spend just to make themselves feel better. Now, I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing, because do what you may with your money, but if it becomes a habit, if your happiness depends on shopping, then you have a problem. What I found effective to do whenever I feel the need to buy something and I'm just really wanting to buy this, I'm constantly researching about it. What I do is I recognize that I'm obsessed in buying this thing, and then I write down, do I actually need this? Why do I need it? What positive will this give me in my life? Is there a net positive overall? Next is, do I actually have money for it? Did I save up to buy this thing, or is this an impulse buy? Am I being eaten up by the system? Did I fall for that marketing? And then I tell myself, okay, I'm gonna back off for 72 hours or even more. And what happens is I do this several times over and over until 1 year passes, and even more until I buy that thing. I really take my time. It's become a really good habit that I think you might want to try. But overall, on the flip side, knowing that buying behavior is really emotionally charged would be good both for your pocket, your savings, and number two, in understanding this, if you apply it to the marketing of your business, might be a good thing. Next up is plain and simple, and that is, do not buy things you cannot afford. Do not borrow money just to buy something that is not an asset that will generate you income. Guys, right out of college, I made the mistake of borrowing money just to buy some random thing. Well, it wasn't random, okay? I bought a PS4. I took out a loan for it. I was paying for it, or so I thought I was paying for it, through my payroll. Apparently, they weren't paying it through my payroll. But when I resigned, they gave me the money back and asked me to pay it myself. And what did I do? I didn't pay it off. And so I completely forgot about it until one day I found out, or someone called me and said, hey, you took out a loan 5 years ago and now it's doubled. You've got to pay this amount. And so I got stressed because I completely had forgotten about this, and this would not look good for banks when I'm going to take out a loan, them seeing I had arrears and I didn't pay for it for years on end. So what I did was I paid it in full, but you know, that was a mistake that I really learned from. So nice and easy, only buy things you can actually afford. Next up is track your spending. Having a really good understanding of where your money goes in relation to expenses will enable you to appropriate and allocate funds to save more. You might even have more money than you initially thought you had, but you were spending it in the incorrect way or just spending it away. For me, I track my spending like a game. I've actually got a video on that. Watch it, but the main premise is the moment that I generate income, I already know where that is going really clearly in a simple Excel sheet. And because I have a clear understanding of where my money goes, I'm less stressed, and again, I can reappropriate to fit my needs. And last but not the least is you have to learn how to make money work for you instead of you working for money. Warren Buffett, one of the most brilliant men alive, said that if you don't find a way to make money while you're asleep, you're going to work until you die. It's a very simple equation, guys. You work, you make money. You work more, you make more money. I think I said this a while ago. And the problem with that equation is that the moment you stop working, the moment you lose a job, you stop making money. Now, I know that there are truths about this, especially in the Philippines, where not all of us can venture into a business right out of college. And so as a newly grad, and there's nothing wrong with this, I think the most feasible plan is work your job, save as much money as you can, and begin trying out business. And once you have experience in business, then you invest in money markets, wherever it may be. The goal, as early as now, is to be able to generate income while you're asleep. And that is truly passive income. But like I said in this video, passive income doesn't come until you've actually worked a whole lot in building that business or building that service. Guys, there's so much more I want to say, but I do not have time for it in this video. I have made a video on trying to figure out what passive income is and the amount of work that you need to do in order to do that. But that is it for this episode. If you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram, and again, click the subscribe button because 20,000 guys. And as I always say at the end of every episode, keep healthy, stay humble, and appreciate the small things. I'll see you on the next one, guys. My name is Mendy, and this has been Discarte with Mendy.
It shine like it's supposed to. The way I deliver, they pros to. My neck got a compass to know where we going.